Hi, so this is Jane Alexander and Tash Mitch from IE, and we want to bring a meditation, I think, today around unity, and around that sacred way of relating, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, the sacred way of relating. That's a really beautiful way to put it, because I think inherently as humanity, we understand what unity is. We know what unity is. We feel it at the core and the crux of our being. But it's not always something that happens on its own. And it's often something that really needs us, as with anything, it needs direction. It needs our understanding of what that looks like and what that feels like. So if it's not there, that we can actually come back to that. So this is where we are today, is just opening up that space for the looking, the feeling, the embodying of unity and what that looks like.
Yeah, and that for me, it's that in that beautiful paradox in our unity, which is that it's this, on the one level, there's the deep oneness, the fact that we are all an expression of the one, or the one expressing. But then at the same time, there's the uniqueness of us each as individual beings with individual journeys and individual life experiences. And it's that there's a sweet spot, I think, where those two are with the interplay of the both. And for me, that's the sweet spot, and that's really what unity is. It's like, that's what embodied unity is. It's when you're acting and moving and dancing and living and laughing and connecting from that sweet spot, because it delights in difference at the same time as being rooted in sameness. And that for me is that really the dream of that, the hope of that, the feel of that, like, really, I don't know, really inspires me, I guess.
So shall we go for it?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, I think it's with you. I think you've got the run in.
All right.
Yeah.
So just coming into breath, coming into breathing from the diaphragm, filling your lungs as you're breathing in, emptying them as you're breathing out. Just making a connection with your sitting bones where you're sitting, making a connection with your feet, just bringing that sense of groundedness, rootedness. And just allowing that groundedness and rootedness to expand through your body, so that it's filling your belly, filling your chest, filling your throat, your head space. And just getting a sense of this grounded and rootedness. Being as a light that is switched on and activated, so that as you get an inventory from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head of the frequency of being grounded and rooted, you're also emanating light within you that's emanating from the inside out. And the first place to start with unity would be to start with the cells of your body. You are made of 70 trillion cells, each of them conscious, each of them a drop of awareness, each of them containing divinity, each of them listening and responding to the universe that is you in your entirety. Very often we have parts of us that are not unified, that are not aligned. So parts that we have arguments with or wars with within our own selves. Just getting a sense of those diverging parts. Just allowing yourself to feel them in your belly, in your chest, in your sense of groundedness through your feet. Just allow yourself to feel all of the parts that aren't feeling so unified. And now just witnessing as we open to the consciousness of divinity, to divine awareness, divine intelligence. That comes in and reminds us that we are one. We are part of the one. We are a unified force field in a unified force field.
And in this space, just coming to the wisdom and the presence of the heart. Just being with the presence of your heart and your body. And just remembering your heart's natural alignment to the one. Just remembering how your heart rests with ease as the one. It rests within your uniqueness. Just feeling any discomfort or tightness, noise in your heart. And just acknowledging that this has just been learnt. It's not the truth of your heart. It's not the truth of your being. And just allowing this noise, this stuff in your heart, allowing it to return to the light, to return to the one, to return to the truth of your heart. Just feeling, acknowledging this dissolving. As anything untrue, anything dividing, anything separating, returns to your one true heart.
Just getting a sense of the two hemispheres of your mind, your brain. So as your heart is unifying, bringing your attention into your mind space, into the left and the right hemispheres of your mind. As you continue breathing, centering, just witnessing as you bring divine consciousness, divine awareness into the center of the mind space. Just allowing that intelligence to unify your mind. To unify your thoughts. To unify your words.
And perhaps just noticing how there is now a natural overflow of energy from the mind down through the core of your being, through that central channel, to nourish the root base. Just noticing how any tensions in the base that make it difficult for you to root in the earth, that make it difficult for you to accept physical incarnation, feeling all of that dissolve.
And with the dissolving of those resistance to being rooted comes the opening to your humanness and to your ability to feel your humanity. Because in essence, when we don't root, that is literally what we're avoiding. We're avoiding our feeling humanity, feeling our human, feeling our density.
Feeling our soul path.
And understanding that the soul path has elements of the universal within it and also elements of physicality, earth within it. And in essence, what we're here to do is to unify those two aspects so that they're dancing together. The yin and the yang, bhakti and shakti, dark and light. It's a relinquishing of judgment and allowing what's there to really be there and to be transmuted and transformed into what it wants to be next.
And just acknowledging that this recognition, this reunification is the womb where new Gaia, where a new way of being is nurtured and births. Just acknowledging and accepting how your very being, your bodily presence is the mechanism by which a new way is realized. You are the manifestation of sisterhood and brotherhood. You are new community. You are soulful connection. You are peace, walking and moving and dancing and speaking and sharing and laughing. You are the landscape of this rebirth.
And it's really the understanding that unity, unification is really you. That the unification we want to see in the world is actually the unification of our varying parts, so that we're embracing them and loving them wholly. And when we do that, we understand that everything that appears before us in our world is ultimately a reflection of us. And so we embrace that fully. And understanding that we're being guided at every step of the way by the unified field, by the intelligence of divinity, by our own soul's guidance for what this particular expression of divinity is resonant with, is opening to, is releasing or expanding into.
And just pulling that into the now. This is not some future destination. This is now, in this moment, within your being, within your body, now.
There's that saying that's been said time and time again, so much so it sounds like a cliche, but actually is so profound. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Because ultimately the frequency that you're emitting is a frequency that you attract. And it's also the frequency that you transmute. The frequency that you're emitting is what others are in training to, particularly if you're holding that frequency with a level of integrity, meaning that you're holding that frequency as a strong, clear signal within you. Are you a vessel for unification? Are you an embodiment of unification? Are you a clear signal of unification? Are you emitting unification from your heart space? And when you're completely in alignment and in embodiment with unification, what do you see in your world? How does your world appear to you? How does it look when people that don't look or sound like you appear before you? If you're coming from unification, if you're embodying unification, how do you respond?
Are there limits on your loving? Are there conditions on your loving? Are there expectations with your loving? Or is your love unified? Can your love unify? Can you surrender to the love that you are?
Be very clear what you're standing for. Be clear what you're unified in. And if you're not clear, just take some time. Take some time so you can come back to clarity, so you can come into clarity. And there's a sense and a feeling here, as I say that both Jane and I, this is the work that we do in the world, is holding space so you can become very clear. Unified and aware of what your heart is emitting.
There is no need to fight with the love inside you. Don't be ashamed of the love inside you. Don't hide the love inside you. No matter what the world has taught you, you are love, and you are here to know that love, to be that love, and to emit that love.
Love is a word that has 4 letters in it, and because it's so small as a word, it seems like it should be very simplistic. But it's so multifaceted and multi-layered, and I think that one of the things that we can do, because one of what I've learned is that divinity is love and love is divinity, so one of the things that we can do is to make love the primary force of everything for us. Unification with love is divinity in motion, as far as I know and can see and feel. And so it's really then, even asking the question, what would love do? What would love say? How would love act in this moment? And then you get to have love as a frequency, because love is an intelligence. You have that intelligence begin to teach you on deeper levels. Yeah.
And I find that if I let my learned conception of love just literally just be the jumping off point,
Yeah.
it's like then there's this deep dive. Yeah, that takes me beyond my edges in the best possible way. Mm.
So on that lovely note, giving you so much love. Till next time.
Yeah, take great care. Loads of love. Bye.